So they have it. Maybe they can provide it. We see. They have to list here.
Yes, the question is whether you have that list of those debtors that amounted to the 81 million. If you confirm they do, then you can make that available to the committee. Yes.
Can I proceed, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes. Director of Finance, thank you for that. I think exactly that was what I was asking you, whether you have the debtor listing.
Yeah.
But what you were telling me was it was historic and then unrealistic, and you cannot find it.
Yeah.
But it exists, not so.
It exists.
You can have it.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
And you have evidence to this 81 million.
1 million.
And again, the main reason we are asking, to let you know, because debtor represents cash. Someone is owing you. Hmm?
Yeah.
Which means someone was supposed to pay KMC up to what? 81 million. If that is written off, it's significant. We need to know why. And again, this is not our opinion, it's the opinion of the auditors. So wait, let me just learn. If you had provided this listing to the auditors, perhaps their opinion might have changed. Because what they are saying in their report is they do not have evidence to these adjustments. So do you have the actual listing to this 81 million to justify this and present it to everyone?
Sorry, let me make it clear. It's not a writing off debt. We are didn't write the debt off. The debts are being pursued. Still now, we are pursuing the debts. It is because of the cash basis system we are operating on this financial system, the template that dictates us. That's why we remove it off the face of the financial statement. But the debts, we didn't write off any debt. They are being recovered. We are following up. We are able to recover all these debts. This might be all after this thing have been featured in 2016 financial statement. So the how to call it, the treatment of our two different systems which are not interfaced, that cause more problem to remove it as we collect. But we collect more areas than more than this 81 million from that day to date. So it could have been cleared if the proper system was applied, like the how to call it, the areas are collected through the sales ledger. Then we could have cleared this debt long time ago. But we were using a separate system to collect the debt. So the amount was featuring, hanging on the trial balance, on the face of the financial statement, doing nothing. But we can provide you a list of debts that's more than that 80 that we have that form of that figures.
Okay, Chairman, I just have my last intervention on that, and then I would still continue because we are on that accumulated fund, page 55. The issue here is you've taken that value from the accumulated fund. To ensure that it is accurate, the evidence should have been there.
Okay.
Whether it is written off or it is taken away from the face of the financial statement, journal vouchers are supported by what? Evidence. That's the attachments are supportive documents. Okay. So still now, let's move on to the next one, because these are the adjustments to our accumulated fund.
Yes.
The next one is 8.4.
It's what?
That is JV 220103A. Because if you don't get this right, you will not have the justification to the transition in your accumulated fund. I just flagged 4 of them that we will look. After this, we will only have 2. Then we'll be done with this particular one as far as the financials are concerned. That one was debtors. This one is a liability of 8.4.
Yes.
Yeah, can you take us through that?
Thank you. This amount emanated from the migration from SEG to Phoenix in 2014. At that time, we have a model that's where the procurement used to input all the procurement documentation at the PLPO level, and that will feed the finance to pay through purchase ledger. In the actual fact, there were something missing, miscommunication between the accounts clerk and the procurement. So when the procurement post their supplies from the purchase ledger. When the clerk was paying, they pay through cash basis, through cash book. And when you are paying through cash book, you are not talking about the liabilities. You are not talking about you are not paying from the creditors list. So that's mean they pay direct from the cash bank. And these figures were hanging as liabilities while their owners have been paid. So these figures also was lingering in the books until when we realized that that's the time when I see that there was no communication, that's the time we stopped the procurement. Then we go through cash basis because it's that's mean accrual at the time that we realized the expenditure before deliveries, just to adjust our votes. But now we have suspended. But before that happened, this amount was already there. But while their LPOs had already been paid, long overdue. So these people have been just there as a showing at debtors list, at liability list, but in the actual fact, it doesn't exist.
Chairman, can I continue?
That's okay. Now go to page 56. No. Page 56. JV 220191. Bin correction of front entries, 1.7 million. We have series of that. But can you just take us through this particular one, the 1.7? It is saying bin correction of wrong entries.
And then in this aspect of it is also the market ticket issues. The market ticket issues were on manual CRBR, where the tickets were recorded in and out. We decided to have it on the Finex. To have it on the Finex, when you are issued, it become like also, it just come as a result of accrual basis. We were invoicing the market masters. When we invoice them, tickets, they go and sell tickets. When they pay, we receive them from the system. In that back and forth, it becomes like there were some inconsistencies. And these figures have been also lingering in the books for long. So now we say that now we are going for digital market ticketing. That's why we come up with providing these hand devices. We want to deploy that way. We are on they were on pilot on ballot before deploy to the markets. But now we have removed it from the Finex totally. They are on manual now. And these things have been there for ages. So leaving it there, it will also inflate the accumulated fund. So we say that we have to clear it up. To have a basis of 2021 is a clear thing.
Thank you. I'm done with that. You know the main reason I asked you to come on JV 22? You have almost 35 entries, where the only thing it will tell you is in reversal of wrong postings. Do you have the explanation you just said? Do you have it among your notes here?
Actually, no. I told them yes at the time when we are doing the transaction. Sorry.
You don't have it as part of the notes. So in these JV entries, almost 35 of them, the only narration they have is bin correction to wrong errors. And I'm pretty sure if we must go through this one by one for you to explain the correction to wrong postings, you won't be able to do it. You can't. That's so. You cannot do it. So it was good to provide those evidences. The auditors were apt to say that indeed they have seen the figures, but the evidences were not there, because even here we do not have the evidence. So moving forward, the advice would be, when you are preparing your financial statements, provide it. Because as of now, the figures we are seeing here, there are no justifications to them. If we do the hard way, I follow you for the 35 aligned items one by one and tell us what is the history of each and every one of them. I bet you can't do it. Thank you.
Yes, I just on the last one for the accumulated fund. the one in the middle, which is the profit 2020, that's 15.851 million. You see profit for the year, yeah, same page, 56 in the middle, right in the middle. Profit for the year 2020, about 15.851 million 177,000. Can we have some explanation to that?
This 15 million is the figure from the P&L income statement. It's derived from the figure from the income statement, like the difference between the income and the expenditure at that particular period. So it is not a profit for that period. Some additional costs. We are operating on cost basis, but actual expenditure over exits the current revenue collections. No.
Yeah, but this one is a profit. I'm not sure the narration.
Yeah,
the narration is a profit for 2020.
I agree. The narration had to be changed. It's not a profit.
Yeah, because it's kind of confused. You are dealing with 2019, narration 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
That of finance. Can we go to page 14 of the report? And correlate it against what is obtained in page 56 as profit for 2020. The difference between the two figures, which is the 10 million and the page 14. I have page 14.
14.
Yes. That's why you have the revenue and expenditure statement. That's all.
Yeah.
And your earlier explanation was this 15 million represents the profit for the year 2020.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at your income, revenue, and expenditure statement, your surplus, which is the profit for the year 2020, is 10,435,468 dollars, zero puts, which is totally inconsistent with the value reported in the journal.
I think you are referring to two different periods.
Which period is in page 14?
Page 14 is 2019.
No, I'm reading 2020. I'm not reading the figures for 2019. I'm reading the figures for 2020. What do you have on page 46? Page 56. The figure that under the fat you told.
If you go to December 2021 financial statement,
let me help you.
2021. That 15 million is 2021.
No, look at the narrative.
I agree with the narrative that there was an error on the narrative.
There was an error on the narrative.
On the narrative, yeah. That's what I'm saying. The page 44 is the figure. Then we go to page 44.
So
the 15 million is there.
Page 40?
44. This page was 2021 financial statement. Instead, they stop at page 2. They stop at 20. It should still say profit or negative or deficit for 2021.
Even that is different. What? If you go to 2021, it's not a surplus. 2021 is a deficit.
Yes.
A deficit of 15,865,206.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes. Big page, and then you go to the.
They are not the same. Either way you take it, they are different.
851.
Have you seen it? They are not the same, right? We can proceed. Can we? No, yes. The two figures are not the same. That's why the evidence would have been really helpful. Hmm? If you have provided the documentation, it would have been different. Hmm? Because still, the two figures are not the same. What we have in the general voucher as the profit for 2021 and what is actually obtained in the revenue and expenditure statement are different. Hmm? Okay. Chairman is back to you. No, just a general question on the financial. A general question on the financial. Just a last one. Mr. Director.
Yes.
The issue here is the auditors are saying the figures from 2019 coming to 2020, they couldn't confirm their correctness. Right now, we are in 2023. Indeed, we are seeing some restatements in the comparative figures for the financials of 2020. But those adjustments are not supported. The belief is this: the errors which were done in 2019 are still inherent in your financials up till now. So now what my question will be this: how is it obtained at your department right now?
Well, it will be hectic for us to go back because we've tried for a whole year to get the accurate financial statement. But as we speak now, we are implementing the IFMIS. IFMIS will clear everything out because IFMIS, we are starting to run the financial statement for 2021. From there, we go to 2022. We provide the financial statement. But to correct the errors, to go back and dig certain documentation which have been occurring since 2015, 2014, to get an evidence, to be frankly speaking, finance manager is here. But it will be very tough.
No, we are not saying go back to 2015, 2014. Obviously, your opening balances in the IFMIS, you carried them from here.
No.
Where did you get them from?
They said we took the bank balances and moved on.
So are you telling us your bank balances differ from what is in the financial statement?
They might be differ. Yes.
After doing your bank reconciliation and everything, they differ?
Yes. Because
help us.
The cash book might be different from the bank balance.
No, I'm saying after doing your reconciliation.
Even after reconciliations, after doing the reconciliations, you will have some transactions that are yet to hit the bank. The bank. The reconciliation doesn't mean that everything will be intact. You may reconcile and have unpresented checks that are with suppliers that are not presented yet. You have uncredited lodgements that you have sent to the bank, like on the end of year December, 31st December, your collection for 31st December, it cannot feature on the bank statement on 31st December. It must feature on the following year. But it will feature on your cash book on that particular 31st December. I don't know what you think.
No. It's not about my take. It's about principle.
Yes.
Reconciliation is done at the end of a particular period.
Yes.
And at the end of that particular period,
yes,
as at the date of your reconciliation,
yes,
it's correct.
Yes.
Reliable, yes, credible.
Yes. We have all our bank reconciliations up to December.
Yes. That's why I said at the end of a particular period. On monthly basis, you do a reconciliation.
Yeah, monthly basis.
Fine. Just allow me.
Yeah.
At the end of January, the 1st of January, let's say 2023, if you are telling me that after your reconciliation, your bank balances or your cash balance is unreliable, then one would ask you, what reconciliation did you do? Let me learn. You know, look, accounting, wait. Accounting is guided by principles. It's not my opinion or your principle. Agree. Or your opinion. Agreed. Let me learn. No, not each other. Yeah. Tell him I'm on this phone. Let him wait. Yes, let him allow.
Okay.
No, be specific. When I'm talking, you listen, because I will listen when he's talking. So, Chair, tell him, be specific on that. Tell him directly, listen. The director, what I'm saying here is this. This is not about opinion. We have guiding principles. The objective behind reconciliation is to take care of what the items in transit between the cash book and the bank statement.
Yes.
So if you card that at a particular period, you are done with it, and input that in your IFNIS, and you tell me it might not be reliable. Let's confirm something.
No.
Did you reconcile the accounts?
No.
Did you reconcile the accounts before inputting them into the IFNIS?
That was the argument we have.
No, Director. Answer.
Yes.
Did you? Okay. Then my apologies. I accept. Did you reconcile your cash book before doing the inputs in the FMS? Yes. Okay. That's a question.
That's why I was expecting at the accountant general when we went there to start to roll over on the IFMIS. They said they asked us our bank balances direct from the bank. I told them, no, I think you take our cash book balances that will cater the transit figures and the unaccounted amount. They said, no, you can reconcile later when you take the bank balances, and then when you have anything that comes first, you post. But then, no, I prefer cash book balances that where you reconcile, be transferred as opening balances for the IFMIS. But no, but we are using the bank balances as the opening bank balances. So we're frankly speaking from the, and it's directed by the accountant general's team who are supervising this operation.
So you are telling us even in the IFMIS you are having problem now. Okay. Okay. My point was this, because if we do not take care of this prior period errors, mistakes, adjustments, they will follow you. And when they follow you, they have implications. Because in the accumulated fund only, there's an implication in excess of 300,000. It could be human error. But once you announce the value, it will have other implications. So if you don't keep the record straight, you don't do the reconciliation, and you don't provide the evidence, the narrative out there, and in reality, what will be happening will differ. So I think your answer to my question brings in more worries, but you want to comment?
I only have two very short questions. I'll start with the second one, which is the migration to the IFMIS system. I'm a little bit surprised that you will agree to what they're telling you to use your bank balances, as new balance in the system, because I think the cash book was going to be better. Yeah. At least the unprecedented checks you already have in your system that would have mine. Because now the problem is going to be once you start posting, then you're going to start having problems now, and it's going to be on you to resolve, not them. Not them. Exactly. So I'm really surprised that you're going to agree to that, because as the finance manager for me, I would say no, because that's going to create a problem for you. So I don't know why would you agree to that, knowing that you may have unprecedented checks, and that would not show in the bank balances. So if you use the bank balances, now you come back to the cash book, you will have a big difference, and now you will have to come back to do your reconciliation again, and that's going to create more problem for you. So I don't know why would you agree to those things?
I wasn't agree. I didn't agree at all. I was the only one who objected to it at the account general when we went for the rollover. I told them no. They said no. Let's start with the bank. Just said no. We always said our bank balance. We said our bank statement. In fact, to them, they took the closing balances and used it. But I told them, look, it has an impact. They said no. If any transaction that come that didn't appear on this thing, you just post it at the reconcile. Well, then. But I was the only one. I cannot change the whole of 8 councils. All of them agreed on it. So I tried, I defend, I do everything, but say no, we go by the bank balances so that we have a clean account. And I'm fine.
Yes, and the last question is about the reversal entries in the system. Do you have a policy that guides you unlike when, how, who authorized, who initiated, authorized about those reversals. Because when, once you post in the system,
Yeah.
there must be some kind of policy along the lines of authorizing somebody else to to do reversals.
Yeah.
We have those in
Yeah,
place.
we have it. But in this point, the finance committee that works on these accounts, we present to them and report to them, and they recommend for us to go on.
Okay, they recommend that you can do
Yes.
this reversal.
Yes.
Okay. So we move on to the management later, where we have more issues. Can we go to page 71? Primarily then, while I ask the question, I will go to the findings, and then the management can then respond to the findings. Then members, if they have supplementary questions, they will come up with the supplementary questions. Page 71 is on 2.1, that is on suspected fraud. Deletion from the rate transactions. Findings, the auditor noted suspected fraud of a tune of 297,941.43. 297, is it thousand? Sorry, $297,941.43 in respect to the raise for the year 2020. These were deleted transactions from the matrix data system, which is similar to non-banking of these transactions as per memo dated 20 December 2020 with reference number. And the auditor went further to note that a task force was set up by the council to investigate the matter, but no investigative report was provided to confirm the conclusion of the investigation. Our discussion with the task force members revealed that the matter was still unresolved and the amount unrecovered. And the point that the auditor is making is also noted that it was not reported to the appropriate authorities, such as the Gambia Police Force, for proper investigation. The details are below. Now, I would like the management to respond to these points that are raised by the auditor, and then the details are: one, the SIP number is quoted, and then the property name, NKVK Rajawani, if I'm right, address Kanifing industrial area, and then the access number is indicated. The amount involved is 91,872.37. And then the other one, the property name is Musanjai of Kanifing industrial area. The access number is indicated, and the amount involved 56,758.65. And Bayuma Silla Kanifing industrial area, 106,666.66. Amadu Conte Jeswan, $8,988. And Dembadem Kanifing industrial area, 6,322.50. And Mohammed Silla Kanifing, 27,333.3. A total 497,941.43. Now, it is recommended by the auditor that the management should provide the investigative report of the task force for review and ensure that the appropriate authorities are informed for proper investigation, since the amount involved may be higher. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much. The observation was on the above issue. Management have carried out an investigation on the matter at the time, but were handled by the CEO and the Director of Finance with the help of the Finance Committee, Executive Appointment Committee, of which the minutes of the investigation is available for inspection. However, based on the information from the system developer, it is only the system administrator who have access to the database. The purpose of such transaction, and the former IT manager was the system administrator for the data team. When contacted during the investigation, the IT manager denied any involvement in the act, despite having all the rights to the system, but could not be ascertained due to the unavailability of the audit trail. Based on the above, the management have reviewed the entire user right and amended it accordingly, which limits the IT manager user right related to IT issues in order to avoid it occurring again. Also, cashier was also transferred from the post and replaced with the another cashier and daily cashier and daily monitoring of the report from the system is ongoing to ensure that all revenue collected through the system is accounted for accordingly on a daily basis. Also, we are currently working on the audit trail to ensure that proper security features are installed, change user authorization to avoid manipulation of data, introduce notification system for users to be informed when transaction is are manipulated, introduce activity logs whereby all changes are noted for other users to see, daily system reconciliation process, encrypt receipt columns. So these were all enhanced of the system to ensure that future system. But actually, the actual receipt were recovered through their suppliers, and the amounts was established. But the minutes of the committee investigation committee is with the chairman of finance committee, who is available here. Maybe just a line on it.
Yes.
What we are trying to get here, just to confirm that deletion actually took place. Is that correct, based on what we have here? Okay. And the amount was about 297,941.43 as stated by the auditors. They are also correct. And you've also confirmed with the system developer that at the time, only the IT administrator actually has the right to do that. And you also know the cashier who was also responsible, right? The cashier was also known. Now, did the cashier refund the council when this is detected? So you are not sure. Okay. Now the IT manager, it seems here you are showing the former IT manager. Maybe it seems maybe he's no longer there. Okay. Have you made any tracing that particular ID? Who actually handles it? Was it given to the IT manager, or the ID belongs to somebody else? I said the ID, the user ID, the user who actually logs in to delete. You know, we are told from here that the developer says only the administrator actually may have done that because he is the one that has the right. So which means actually is the IT administrator. Yes. No, hold on. Yeah.
That's what I want to observe before coming. We need to observe the rules. The appearance before FPAC is for the duty bearers. The duty bearers here is the Director of Finance, the Lord Mayor, and the CEO. Altogether. If at all as a committee, we need extra evidence from someone who might be a councillor or outside. We can invite them. But right now, you as the Director of Finance, you cannot say, I don't know. You can't. You can't say, I don't know. This is an issue of finance. It's under you. The user rights, who can do what, who cannot do what investigation was done, what were their recommendations. You need to know that. So, Chairman, I would object to, members of the other committees answering questions during this session. If we need them to provide evidence for them, to us, we would invite them. But right now, the duty bearer is the Director of Finance.
Yes,
That's
just
my
before
observation.
us, the Director of Finance, you are obliged to be responding to questions. Yeah, if you feel you can answer the question. What is your role, your position? Admin. Ah, okay. Is the mic on? Mic, I'm not sure. No.
All right,
Can
thank
check?
you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the Director of Finance just stated, the IT unit was under my department. I'm the Director of Administration. What actually happened, the IT manager actually has the access right to the system because being the IT manager to give services, support services to finance and other respective units. So what he actually did was he was planning, he was on a study program. We had a problem with him. And then he wanted a leave, a study leave. We asked him to give us the details of whatever he's doing and his timetable. He could not cooperate. But in short, in summary, he decided to leave the services of council on his own and tendered his resignation. And then we tried to trace him because we had a trouble of how can an IT manager handling such a sensitive position leave the council unceremoniously and just go like that, and he only forwarded his resignation. So we were struggling to even recover for the handing over because that's why we rushed to the system developer to make sure, because we knew he had access rights, so he can even do something at remote level. So the first thing that we did is to call the developer to change the password so that no one can to secure the council and all the activity. So what happened? It was at that level. We were trying to even trace him, so we do not know his whereabouts. In fact, later on, another person came with some news that he received a trade license certificate that has been issued by this IT manager to go to an embassy. So that raised an alarm. So we set up this committee. Then I don't know, the report mentioned that we did not get to the police, but we get to the police. We reported the matter to police until he started reporting. So we have a whole lot of things. Among what we said that he should hand over, and he was having access to this. So we were going stage by stage. We could not trace him on time. So when we trace him, that's why the investigation is not completed. But now we have him, we know his whereabouts, and the matter is on the investigation at the police level.
The matter is at
the police at the moment.
At the level of the police.
Yes, as we speak now. So I hope that answers your question. So we cannot preempt it.
Yes, thank you. Perhaps we will need to get some evidence that the matter is actually before the police so that we can take it from there. Now, the other question I have for the same issue, as far as you are the director of admin, do you have IT security policy that guides the council in terms of the IT estate that under the council?
Yes, there was an IT security policy in the former administration, that is the former council, and that was what was. But there was IT policy.
No, is it there was or there is?
There is.
There is.
There is. Yes.
Okay. So in terms of user rights in the system, who handles what? Because normally I'm a bit surprised that the IT person would have access to almost everything. I'm a bit surprised
he was given.
Yeah. So what's the situation right now?
The situation right now, IT do not is being regularized, but still the new IT man who is overseeing it has the security password as well as the system development. And we made it in such a way that anybody who there's an audit trail, anybody who does whatever will be notified and will be alerted. That's what we did.
So yeah, you mean the IT person still has the super ID?
Yeah, exactly. Who is not the IT? Because we are yet to have an IT manager. So the problem is still not fully addressed.
Yeah, because you may fall back into the same situation again. Because normally the super ID must be handled by somebody completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
And in case there's a need, then you can log in and he can do what he wants to do.
Yes, because I personally told this developer, even finance, I said, do not share this with the finance department. Even nobody should have it until we get to the bottom of the matter.
Okay.
Then we will report to the council, the general council, the matter, and then they will make a decision.
Before you come in, Honorable, when did you report the matter to the police?
It was it was in 2022.
2022.
2022, yes.
Precisely which
Around September, October. That was when it started.
okay.
Thank you, Chair. I will refer you to page 73, where it states the auditor's further comments. The audit evidence we have revealed that the Deputy Director of Finance indeed had super admin rights to the system. We could not confirm if IT manager had rights as alleged in the judgment response, as he was relieved from council before the current audit commenced. So my question here is, when did the Deputy Director of Finance had these super admin rights?
Yes, Honorable, that's what I think I just answered that before you asked the question. Because he was the Deputy Director.
No.
I personally insisted that nobody should have this security access right. It should be kept at the service developer level, and the new guy who is just overseeing it. So when we get to the bottom of this, we will now decide on who should have this, because now anybody who have this becomes he'll be part of it, he'll be responsible. So there will be an audit trail, and then there will be no confusion, because you cannot play with judge and jury. So these are sensitive information, there are financial information that I said. So it will be risk to give this thing to anybody, more so in the finance. So that decision will be decided by the finance committee at the council in general.
That didn't answer my question. The auditors are saying the Deputy Director of Finance had super admin rights. My question is, when were those rights, user rights, accorded to him? Yes.
The user rights were found in the matrix system. Was not I cannot create right for myself. Obviously, those rights were even a surprise to me. I don't think an individual can create rights for your own. It's only the IT manager. When these people come, I myself, I go there, I show them all the rights that I have, and I print it for them. And they said, but you are super admin. Well, I'm not aware, but actually I've never used them, but cleared off. That's the time it was regularized. But actually the deleting was happening at the server system.
Still, let's just limit it to this.
Okay.
So it's confirmed that you have super admin rights.
I was there, yes.
Okay, allow me. The matrix accounting system was proposed for the use of the accounts department.
Yeah.
I have some experience on it.
Yes.
I have experience on Sage, I have experience on Matrix, I have experience on QuickBooks. The head of accounts have his team.
Yeah.
The junior staff will be doing the postings. That's where their user rights end. Reversals and other entries goes to the what? Head. I'm surprised. And I would say then the accounts department in KMC is not functional if at all you do not have those super admin rights. If at all an error happens in the system, correct it. Is it not you?
That's why I was helping them on.
No, the correction is if an error happens in the system in KMC, who corrects it?
I do.
Is it a surprise that you have super admin rights?
No, but maybe the way they were thinking more,
No.
IT aspect of it. Accounting, as I said, as for application aspect, the finance can handle all the application items. Like we create user rights, we assign responsibilities, we do reversal when juniors make errors based on endorsement and approval. But they make it an issue like I have super admin right. That means I can create, I can edit, I can modify users, which was not the right thing.
Can I learn?
Yes.
Do you have the right, the user right, to delete transactions?
Right now, no.
No.
On the application itself.
By the time this was happening, as per your user rights,
Yes.
do you have the right to delete transactions?
No.
We do not.
No.
Yeah, can we have clarification from the auditors to that?
Yeah.
What were your user rights? What were your limitations?
I think the rights were all accorded to me. I couldn't understand.
Then answer the question.
Yes.
Did you have the right to delete transactions?
They are part of the rights.
Thank you. That's confirmed. No, just wait here because this is clear.
Yeah.
In accounting, is it normal that transactions be deleted after they are entered? Is it a normal accounting practice?
No.
Why were they accorded as user rights in your system in the first place?
That was the system, how the system was developed at the time of the specification, but has now been eliminated. No more delete now in the system. It's only can be reversed, but you cannot delete any transaction. Being front, being at the back end. It's been tested. The IT team should have been here and confirmed that.
At the level of finance,
Yes.
do you have any write-up, any correspondence to that effect that you've written either to the Lord Mayor or to the management of KMC, indicating to them that indeed the way the system is built, it is exposed to some risks because there are certain user rights which should not be accorded to people. Did you do that?
Well, that could have been done if you have a functional IT.
No. Did you do that? Because you accepted the fact that the option to delete should not have been there.
Yeah.
And it was not only the IT manager who was having the right to delete. You also had the right to delete.
Yeah.
We will not go the extra mile to apportion responsibility.
Yeah.
We just want to base it on what we are having.
Yeah.
But what we want to establish at first is it is the responsibility of the finance department to advise management on what is required in whatever accounting software that they were going to have. And you've accepted the fact that the right to delete should not have been there. Now we want to know, when you realize that the option to delete was there, what proactive mechanisms did you take to avoid what just happened?
We call a meeting at the office of the mayor with the system developer, with the mayor's advisor. We review the entire system and provide all the necessary information, of which the rights were reversed, and the CEO, the current CEO who is on leave, was given the super admin, and the right people were given the right admin, right administration, right user right. But I can see the frustration of this developer. When the CEO left, the director of finance left, the IT manager left, anything, the IT system is not functioning as expected. Whatever transaction we want at that period, we have to consult them. And the guy, they are always busy at time. The guy, sometimes they were busy. I think that's the time I could remember one day he told me, look, you needed somebody to be able to creating accounts and to be providing user right to this stuff. I told him, well, temporarily, I am self-accepting it. Yes, let me get it. But it's just a temporal issue until the IT department is regularized, because it affects our rates collections, because only time rates collections need support on their systems, on their reversals, on their demand notes, statements, and whatsoever. So that's the time it occurs. But actually, in the actual fact, currently, everything has been eliminated and corrected as it was. So the IT, we have appointed an IT manager, a new assistant IT manager. An IT manager has been sent to the Local Government Service Commission to appoint a new competent IT manager, of which we have done the shortlisting with them 1 month ago. Still now, we are waiting for the final appointment of the IT manager for.
Director, you are just dribbling me. You didn't answer my question. I asked, when you realized that the option to delete was there, what active mechanism did you take? All the sequence of events you are saying, were the reactive ones after you realized that there was indeed deletion in the system. My question was in relation to what proactive mechanisms you took, because that was the finance department. The IT manager, even if we accept the fact that he deleted the transactions, he only acted on the risks you were exposed to. It was your responsibility to prevent that from happening in the first place. So that was my question. And I will pose it again. When you realize that in the matrix system, the option to delete was there, as the finance department, did you bring it to the attention of the management of KMC to avoid what happened?
I said it, Honorable. We call a meeting as a team. The minutes were there. Even were available to the IT team from audit. The minutes of action taken during that, we realized that there's a deletion point. We call a meeting as an action point to correct the system. That's the time.
Sorry to cut you.
Yes.
I don't mean after you realize
Yes.
the deletion.
Yes.
Because that's what you are saying.
Yes.
Before, when the system was developed, you had the right to delete.
No, before I never realized the deleting point is there. It was not known. You didn't know.
No, I can't.
We did not delete it.
No.
Sorry.
Anyway, I will leave it at that.
Yeah.
No. To be honest with you, accounting software comes with models. They come with models. Not so. And the moment you click on those models, you see the functions. You see the functions. You can post, you can update. And if at all there's an option to delete, it will show. Now, if you tell us you don't know, Honorable, I will leave it at that. But you are supposed to know, and you know. Thank you.
It's on the same issue.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, deleting transactions on accounting software, I think this is something that must not be very easy to do. In fact, you don't delete. You can reverse transactions and have information to indicate why you've deleted, why you reverse, just like what we have here before. Yeah. But to delete a transaction, I think that must be a no-no. I think maybe going forward in your things, make sure you check that you ensure that they cannot delete. Yeah, transactions cannot be deleted. You can do a reversal just to reverse a wrong entry or misposted whatever, and you go for. Now, the other one I have here, because it seems that you know the cashier. So here I'm reading here from your own. It says, based on the above, management have reviewed the entire user rights and amended accordingly, which limits the IT manager user rights, related IT issues, in order to avoid it occurring again. Also, the affected cashier was transferred from the post and replaced with another cashier. Why was that done? Don't you have policies relating to potential fraudulent activity? But it seems it's confirmed that the transfer were deleted, suspected fraud, but the person was left in the system still.
Yes, pending the finalization of the investigations, action are yet to be taken.
Yeah, but is that the normal procedure? If somebody is suspected for fraudulent activity, normally they are sent on administrative leave pending investigation. But in this instance, the person was actually transferred to another position. And it was very clear that the actions did actually happen. Why would you allow that? Wouldn't that be the procedure at the council?
The information was relayed to the Director of Finance and the CEO. When it occurred, it is forwarded to the Director of Finance and the CEO. It's for them to engage the management and make an informed decision at the time. But it was not finalized with them. That's why I'm saying the Finance Committee was the one investigating, and the Disciplinary Committee, which is the Establishment and Appointment Committee. So once we forward it to them, I think it's past our levels. So it's at the level of Director of Finance and the CEO at the time to make decision on that.
No, but I thought you said the matter is reported to the police.
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
Yeah. You know the police will not come and tell you, send the person home.
Wow.
The police will not do that.
No.
That is in your own, at your own level, administratively. So yes.
Can you use the mic?
Yeah, these are two things. The IT manager, who is the prime suspect, then the cashier at the other end. Because what we feel, the IT manager who left the services. So the investigation started, but the cashier is a different ball game, because we feel if we get to the IT manager, then we will know the root cause and who are the complices in this matter. So, and it's the discretion of the management to see what next to do if the investigation report is submitted. So,
Yes, Chair. For me, I still can get it. Because if a cashier is suspected of doing something, you move that cashier to another area, then you bring another cashier. You are just pushing the issue away. The push is not going, because if the suspicion is based on the IT manager, who at the time you knew that he had access, right? But then another cashier was also affected. So we means the investigation must be on these two people. But if you move the cashier away, that is not actually solving the problem. Because ordinarily, if people are suspected of fraudulent activity in an institution, especially the council, I think that there is a process that you have to undergo, right?
sure.
But why wouldn't the process taking in this instant?
To either send him on administrative leave.
Of course, if you have reasonable to believe that Masi may know, or she was part of it, or he was part of it, or he may have known something about it.
Yeah, what we believe for the first step is that let him not have access to what he is doing at the moment until we come with something that is substantive. It is not conclusive. It's not conclusive.
So the person is not a cashier at this moment.
Yes, correct.
We can proceed to the next one. Already the auditors further comments. It's an area that Honorable Fofana posed to the, so we don't need to get to that. Then the next one is outstanding balances or shortages in ballot project, the findings. The auditor noted outstanding balance of 121,806 in respect of shortages by the ballot of revenue by ward secretaries for the year 2021. This was noted during review of the General Council meeting dated 27 October 2021. No investigation was conducted to look into this, but action was taken to recover the shortages from the ward secretaries. Details below are the shortages and the recoveries made and the balance from March to October 2021. The balance at Abuko is $73,090. Balance at Bundung Bohol is 3,420. 6 Johnson 2,565. And Honorable Jammeh will take care of that. Tibakunda is 13,486. And then Fajikunda is 1,540. Kotumanjai 7,773. Latikunda Iringanya is 2,000. And London Corner negative 4,878. And Talindin South 13,623. Old Jeswan 2,957. Talindin North 3,900. And Latikunda Sub is 1,680. Kanifing 650. The auditor further noted that the recoveries were made from November to December, but no shortages were reported. This was prepared on separate sheet. Details below. For Abuko is 12,300 and Bundum Bohol 1,290, 6 Johnson 180, Pajikunda 1,210, Kotu Manjai 2,495, and 434 Latikunda Iringanya 2,494 for London Corner. and 2,300 for Talinding South, 3,230 for Old Jesua, 150 for Kololi, and 730 for Talinding North, 670 for Latrikunda Sabiji, Kanifing 2,494, a total of 29,973. And the auditor recommended that the management must ensure that these monies are recovered from the worshipers without delay and formal investigation carried out by the appropriate authorities. The November-December recoveries will show the shortages in order to establish the balance. And we would like the management to respond to that. But there are finance involved there. Financial issue, I think the finance director. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman. The management response on this is $86,043 of the amount was recovered. And the table below shows you the recovery and the amount, and the total amount pending to be recovered was $4,000. Was the only amount plans to be recovered. And before the end of this month, it will be recovered.
So that is to say, all orders have been recovered, except for the Bakunda, the 339. Is it dollars 339? And then you proceed to all just one, $3,016. Kanifing, 1,015, a total of 4,370. As at when?
As at this year, as at 2022.
As at 2022, what?
2020.
Month. December 2022.
Yeah. At the time of the audit.
At the time of the audit.
Exercise.
But after the audit, have you been advancing
Yeah.
recoveries?
Yeah, we have recovered the amount.
After the audit.
After the audit.
It is indicated that by end of February 2023, the situation will be regularized. We are not yet end of February. So we assume that we still stick by this projection that by end of February, the entire 4,370 would be recovered. Is that your position?
Yes.
I just want to get clarification on this strategies. How exactly did it happen? And are they staff or they are contractors or who exactly are they?
Good afternoon. In the first place, these people involved were not staff of council. Then the ballot was a project. They were on contract. The manner these recoveries were done was these discoveries were first made by internal audit. When the discoveries were made, we sanctioned the management of the project, and we tasked the management to make sure to disclose how these funds were diverted. One, who is responsible? The ticket collectors, these are young girls and boys. Council, through the project, contracted them. Each ward you have two collectors. They change. At times they go together. So it was not easy. There was not blame and counter blame. Management could not establish that. But then we committed them through record, through the board secretary. All right, who was responsible for what? And based on their own admission, we said fine, the monies can be gradually deducted from their commissions. And this was what we did. So these few outstanding to 4,000, as the management reports have indicated, will be recovered on or before the due date. But they are not council staff, they were on contract.
Is that satisfy your question? Honorable Fofana?
Thank you, Chair. I will direct this to the CEO. In light of the shortfalls with regards to the invalid collections, I just have two questions. One, was there any performance review on the entire invalid project? Two, would it indicate that based on their admission to what? Can we get clarity on that?
The invalid project performance review was carried out. It took quite a long time in the sense that 2-3 months, because the personality involved are too many. The result of the performance review revealed that those who were not performing well, we decided to give them an exit. All right. With regard to admission, the ticket collectors themselves and secretaries admitted after we engaged them on who collected what on each day. These are all in record. The ticket collectors at the end of the day will submit their collection to the secretaries. Secretaries, based on selected days, will report to the accounts for payment. As of now, because of our experience, we now change the whole system by sending the licensing collector from each ward, each licensing collector tied to a ward, to be collecting the money daily from the secretaries. Now the issue of the ticket collectors are keeping the money for a day or two is out. At the end of the day, the licensing collector will get to the ward office to collect whatever is realized during the day. For admission, of course, they admitted that they've taken the part of this money is their responsibility.
Sorry, let's allow him. Supplementary?
Yes. Thank you for that explicit answer. The first one will be, Chair, if we can request for the performance review that was done on the embedded project to enhance our understanding on some of the key remedial actions being adopted to address some of the deficiencies which are highlighted on the report. And the other one would be, the balance outstanding is immaterial as of now. It's around 4,370. But the initial amount reported was somehow significant. And their admission, what we can call it is, they took money that doesn't belong to them for their personal use. And the manner of recovery you've adopted is like you are recovering a loan. This is not a loan. Someone is admitting to a misconduct, taking council funds which doesn't belong to him or her. And the council have so many responsibilities at its hand. So as the CEO, why didn't you what? Make sure that these values were recovered upfront. I mean the CEO, you will excuse me. Let the CEO come for that. Huh? Why didn't you call in for the total collection of the funds? This was not alone. These are council funds. The council needs it better than those individuals.
Thank you, Honorable. Council could have done that, as you stated. But like I said, this the management was not directly under council as a project. This is a project, and for the first time, the people involved, these are young youths. All right. There was no direct management from the council main management. The project is there with the project manager. The council was doing the oversight functions. This was why the internal council internal audit unit was taxed periodically to check in the accounts of the ballot project. And as a result, these discoveries were done. And as soon as it was reported, management wasted no time but to get into it and make retests. And this was the action. If it had been the direct council management, it would be different. But the process, because you have the ticket collectors, you have the secretaries, so it took quite time to establish where the problem lies. But it would have been quicker, and it would have been asked them, like you said, to pay upfront. All right. But looking at that, there was no binding per se where a guarantee for it would have been done that because this is a contract. Each staff that was employed would have been given asked to get a guarantor. So in case of any default of this nature, would have been addressed immediately, either by them or by the whoever serve as a guarantor. But unfortunately, this was not.
Chairman, last one on it, and I'm done.
Supplementary.
Yes, just on that, and I'm done.
Please. Yeah, then since it's connected, let him exhaust.
Let me just exhaust.
Then you can call.
We need clarity on this, and that's why I allowed the mayor to intervene with regards to the management issues. Because you are telling us the Mbalit project was not directly under KMC. We need that understanding, because if not, the other corrections I might bring to you, I'm trying to think about their relevance. But Lord Mayor, if you can help us, let's just understand how the two are correlated and what was the purpose of separating the Mbalit project from the entire KMC management.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. The Mbalit project was not separated from KMC management. It's a project. It was formed as a partnership to serve the people. Therefore, the staff that were employed under contract to Mbalit management, and there was a standing committee on council called the Mbalit Committee that oversaw the project. Now, I believe these amounts, if I do remember, are not leakages, but more of underbanking. These are cash handling staff, and sometimes they receive money, they count it wrongly, and then they claim to deposit an amount, but then the ticket seller reports a different amount. So I believe these were underbanking, and the Director of Finance stands to correct me, but I do not remember internal audit reporting any fraud as per these activities. I remember them being underbanking.
At this stage, you will leave it as that. Thank you for the correction, because it has enhanced our understanding.
Yeah.
They were not internal audit reports. Mbalit and KMC are the same. So once we have the performance review on KMC, we can, because we have a lot of points to cover. I would stop it at that, Chair.
Use the mic. the part that is not answered.
I said part of my question is been answered because I was also going to ask whether it was on a banking also, and which the Honorable Mayor has answered. And also, I wanted to ask, is there any possibility with regards to this ballot system or the ballot project of the modalities of payment? Is it possible, or is there any possibility of electronizing it, making an electronic payment, for example, maybe in the future?
It is on digital right now. We have contacted Ecotex, which is part of the, you will see them along the findings and the basis of this statement. Although the system at the beginning it was okay, but when we go later in the middle, they had a problem with their partners in Tanzania, and there was a separation among themselves at the IT level. But they didn't disclose that to the council, and they proceed with us while they have the original system and the original device. The original system and the original device that they presented for us to contract them is no longer in place. And they bring new devices and a new system, which, okay. Yeah. So they are on digital at the moment, but we will continue to improve on the digital system.
Let's proceed to the third issue, that is unpresented obligation report. That to be found in page 76. The findings reveal that the investigative report for the first allegation at council was not presented for audit review. Allegations include the following: a loan of $12 million secured for the purchase of a parcel of land for council senior management, and two, alleged forgery of a data caption guaranteed purchase of land, advance agreement purportedly written by the council, and thirdly, solicitation and receipt of bribe of $30,000. With regards to the above, the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government set up an investigation matters. We are informed that the investigation report was not provided for review. We are provided with a report, but without official letterhead or to whom the reports were submitted. Therefore, we could not rely on the report to make follow-ups on the findings and recommendations made by the investigative team, and thereon make our conclusion. The auditor recommended that the management should liaise with the appropriate authorities to present the official investigative report for follow-ups and conclusion. And to that, the management should respond, but at the same time also, the action point, the admin director is supposed to consult the Local Government Service Commission on that. And then the date to regularize that is February 2023. Can you respond to that? You and then the the admin director. It's on.
Thank you. As you rightly said, this matter has been an ongoing matter for 2 years at the council. Upon the report of fraud or alleged fraud of the activities of the CEO and some of the executives of the Staff Welfare Association, the council did report the matter to the police for investigation. We reported the matter to the ministry. I personally even went to the ministry. We reported the matter to the Local Government Service Commission. Upon this report, there was no action taken by the ministry. Instead, we received PIU officers at the front of our gate. After a long push and pull with the ministry, they decided to set up an inspection team. The inspection team constitutes George Nyuki from the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, Sei Ninding from the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, Lamin Diba from Directorate of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Burama Jata, Director of Internal Audit and Ministry of Internal Affairs, Economic Affairs, Modu Job, Directorate of Internal Audit and Ministry of Economic Affairs. This team spent 3 months at the council. They interviewed all of the council members, including myself and the co-conspirators. After their inspection, there was no report produced. The next action we got from the Ministry of Local Government was their attempt to set up a commission of inquiry on the council. The council battled with them in court and we prevailed, but in the court, the High Court judge requested that documents, especially the report on the inspection team, be produced. And this is the first time we, the council, saw the report from the inspection team that was set by the ministry. When we received the report, we saw the conclusion of the report. If you may allow, I can just read a portion. The conclusion of the report, which is the inspection team looked into the $12 million in loan allegedly obtained by the KMC Staff Welfare Association for the purpose of purchasing a land for the staff of the council. We were able to identify the main actors behind the loan application and the circumstances bordering on the manner in which the loan was obtained. We were able to confirm that indeed there was a loan applied for purportedly by the KMC Staff Welfare Association, and the KMC was used as the corporate guarantor. We were able to confirm that the CEO, Madam Senabu Martin Sonko, did take 30,000 from the CEO of Almond Real Estate Company, Mr. Aliu Danso. The manner in which this money was given and received left us with the suggestion that there was an element of bribery. We could not comprehend why anyone would give the sum of 30,000 to anyone when the person is only doing his or her work. Here, the intent of Mr. Danso was clearly to influence the decision of Mrs. Senabu Martin. This is because he told the inspection team that he was frustrated with the manner in which he was being treated and he wanted to do something that could change the mind of the CEO. Perhaps Senabu might not be aware of the true intent of Mr. Danso. However, we expect her to know better and not to receive any money, particularly in her office, from a person that had a contractual agreement with the council. This only suggests that there is an element of bribery. The inspection team also came across a letter purportedly emanating from the council, which was used as a guarantee, in which when the Welfare Association fails to repay the loan, the KMC shall be financially responsible for the Welfare Association's obligations. This includes the unpaid principal amount of the loan plus accumulated interest and cost. The manner in which the aforesaid letter was written and sent to the bank suggests that those who prepared the letter acted in silo, and that is without the authority of the council. The inspection team established that council do give salary advance to both councillors and members of staff, although we do not see any evidence to suggest that such a practice is illegal or wrong. However, it is our belief that to give anyone a loan more than 50% of his or her salary at any given month is not in the best interest of council and should cease immediately. It was also observed that some staff were employed by the council during the period under review, but all these appointments were not copied to the Local Government Service Commission. In some instances, 8 staff were employed by the council, without the express permission of the Local Government Service Commission. In reviewing all contracts awarded by the council, we observed that most have all obtained GPPA approval, and this therefore suggests that these contracts might have gone through the rigorous process, hence the approval of the GPPA. The inspection team looked into the suspended staff of council and did not find Mam Kaba Bas, Vice President of the Staff Welfare Association, wanting, be it in the loan applied or purported forgery of a letter that used KMC as corporate guarantee. The CEO, Senabu Martin Sonko, Bakari Jawa, President of the Staff Welfare Association, Babukar Sanyang, Treasurer of KMC, have more questions to answer regarding this saga. That was the conclusion of the inspection team. So this is where we stand as that matter is concerned.
But now the point is whether you consult the Local Government Service Commission to that effect on the report.
That's what I said. We wrote a letter to the Local Government Service Commission, but the legal battle is the ministry did not allow the Local Government Service Commission to investigate the matter, nor did they allow the Gambia Police Force to investigate the matter. That's why we are in court. We are still in court, and we will be in court soon again because we have more cases in the pipeline.
The auditor noted that they received the report but without the official letterhead. Who gave the auditor the report? Council?
Thank you, Chairman. With regards to the management was not responsible to determine the form or to whom the report should be addressed to, and therefore the team that conducted the inspection is at the ministry, and they could be contacted to find out to whom the report was produced for. However, through the General Council solution, the council have taken full step to cancel the 12 million loan taken by the staff welfare from the bank request for the refund of the amount and send the official involved on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
Somebody is reminding me that the issue before the court. So not the substance per se, not the substance per se. Yeah, not actually on the substance, only what is in the auditor's query. That's what we are trying to establish. And then the point there, another point, I think that one is, it's not established now, the situation to be regularized by February 2023. That's in the report. Auditor is recommending for the situation to be regularized by February 2023. Is there any?
Oh, maybe, no, that's not the auditor.
That's not the auditor.
No, the management is saying it will be regularized.
The management response.
Yeah.
The management response.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
What's your take on that?
yeah, that's our wish to make sure that this problem is totally addressed. However, there are some administrative bottlenecks or bureaucracy involved because there was a old service commission which has been dissolved. A new service commission has been set up, and the old minister left, a new minister in place, and there are a lot of back and forth that are going on. There's still what they call a handing over and a follow-up and a plan to even to review the investigation again, because the investigation report has not formally been submitted. So there is a whole lot ahead which we cannot preempt for now. So as the Lord Mayor said, it's also at the judiciary. So they are the law interpreters. So I think you guys are lawmakers.
The other point there is pertaining to the 12 million. The evidence for cancellation of the 12 million was not submitted with the response. That's the auditor's further comment. What's your take on that?
Yes, you are right. It was not submitted, but the evidence are there.
The evidence are there.
Yes.
You should provide the evidence to the auditor at the time of the audit. No?
No.
You can provide that to the committee. Hmm? Available someone?
Thank you, Chair. My question will be in relation to the status of the CEO. And before posing the question, I will tell you why. Because his function cannot be represented. Today, when these accounts were received, the CEO should have been sitting here. But because of internal issues which we understand, he is not here. In the deliberations of the finance manager, we learned that they are under indefinite suspension. And yesterday, listening to the Lord Mayor, he said they have two cases at the High Court, one of which the courts have decided on, that is the restraining order. Since they are civil servants, they cannot be restrained. But now, the issue of what? Ethics and morality. That is what is left, and they are in conflict with the local government. So as a committee, we also have a concern on it. The indefinite suspension, what are the general rules saying about it? And internally, what is the administration of KMC doing to finalize it? Because this is within the municipality. The ministry has a responsibility, but KMC also has a responsibility. Our actions, can we back them by law with regards to the suspensions? Our actions, can we back them by law with regards to the ruling that was done by the Supreme Court, saying that they cannot be restrained? How do we interpret it? And how are our current actions in correlation to those rulings? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I think it's about powers and separation of powers. The council is the elected body responsible for the governing of the municipality. The CEO is appointed by the Local Government Service Commission, and I will just refer you to the Local Government Act. I'll just read it for your digestion. It says the functions of the CEO are as follows. The Chief Executive, this is the Local Government Act 2002, Section 43. The Chief Executive Officer shall manage the affairs of the Council and shall be answerable to the Council and be subject to its direction and control. A Chief Executive Officer shall, in the exercise of his or her functions, report to the Chairperson or the Mayor. So, using our powers as Council, when we are reported that there's a fraud, as the Honorable said when you were out, it is our duty to send that person on administrative leave until they can be proven innocent. In our special case, the Local Government Service Commission, which was once under the council's control, and every council had one, has since been amended, and now it is Universal Local Government Service Commission appointed by the Ministry of Lands and Local Government. So councils have what we call an establishment and appointment committee. Those are the committee members or councillors responsible for staff matters and referring matters to the Local Government Service Commission. So as we send them on administrative leave, which is well within our power, we send the recommendation for investigation and termination to the Local Government Service Commission. Now, part of the problem we have with the ministry is that they have been interfering with this commission, because this commission is an independent body as set out in the Local Government Act, not to be under anyone's influence or control. The letters we sent to the commission never reached because the ministry insisted that the letters must pass through their office. So speaking to the commissioner who was there, former CC, he never received the correspondence on this case by the council. So they never really investigated the matter, so they could not come to a decision on the matter. So for 2 years, the Local Government Service Commission has still up to this date not investigated this matter and to tell council whether these persons are innocent or guilty based on the evidence provided. All we received is a letter to the Deputy CEO's office last week saying from the commission, after 2 years of not hearing from them, that these people must be allowed to come back to work. We said we cannot allow people who are alleged to have done fraud and be proven to come to office, because also as a council, we have to protect the constitution of the Gambia and the assets of the people of KM. Now, the case you are referring to is an injunction. When we asked these individuals and directed them to go on administrative leave, the ministry asked them to come back to work. And there was a power struggle. Where does council's power end and where does the ministry's power start? The ministry has no power to direct staffs of council against council's will. How can you ask an individual to report to a Lord Mayor and to be under the council's direction and control and to be answerable to that council? At the same time, you are forcefully asking them to enter the council against the will of the mayor and the councillors. So next thing we know, we have PIU officers, armed officers, coming to the council to forcefully push the CEO in her office. Council was left with no choice but to seek a restraining order and an injunction against her entry into the premises. On our first attempt, we were successful to get a temporary restraining order pending a permanent restraining order until the case is heard where she is proven innocent or guilty. That's all we want. After 1 year of back and forth in the court, 1 year, 7 months, the court finally concluded that the court does not have the power to restrain a public officer from entering a public premises. That's all the court said. Citing the case of Yakumba Jaite versus Gambia government, where the court said they could not restrain Gambia government from preventing Yakumba to enter the parliament. They used the same precedents to say they could not restrain the CEO from entering KMC. The court was merely speaking about their limitations, but no mention of KMC's powers or limitations. So where the court cannot act, it is still well within KMC's power to say no, stay on administrative leave until you are proven innocent. Why should such a matter take 2 years? This is the question. The evidence is provided, the ministry has investigated. They should look at the investigation. Somebody who has admitted to taking a bribe of $30,000. Somebody who has admitted to have taken a corporate guarantee of $12 million of taxpayers' money without the people charged to oversee those monies. I don't think this case is rocket science. I think it's a case of politics, a case of a power struggle, but it's not a legal issue. We see no legal issue. We see no issue of morality, no procedural issue, no ethics issue. When I engaged the Minister of Lands and Local Government, Musa Drame, at the time in his office, he indeed asked me to forget about this case and brush it under the carpet. And I refused. And this is why we are fighting for 2 years now. When I reported this case to the Ministry of Lands and Local Government, the minister then said, I and the council do not have a power to send any staff on administrative leave. I said no. When the CEO is going on her leave, whether it be annual, maternity, who does she ask permission to? He himself said, I think it's the council or the mayor. I said, yes. So then how can you say we do not have the power to send her on administrative leave? Then the minister said, then in that case, you have not sent her on administrative leave. You have done a disciplinary matter by sending her on suspension. I say, why did you say that? He said, because you have stopped her salary. I said, well, in that case, you have a point. We will then restore her salary. But we cannot accept her in the premises until she's cleared by the commission. The commission that was in charge, one by one, started resigning or staying dormant from the ministry because they are being interfered with. And they have not functioned for the past 2 years. Evidence to that fact is the former councillors and today National Assembly members are here as witnesses. We have been without an internal audit director for 2 years as we speak, because we had written to the commission 2 years ago. We reported our internal audit director was incompetent because he was not producing quarterly reports. The councillors voted in a deliberation of council that we must recommend to the commission to dismiss him on the basis of incompetence and be replaced immediately. He was dismissed but never replaced. And today, as council sits, we have a dysfunctional internal audit unit because we are without a director, because the commission was not sitting. So, Chairperson, this is where we stand with that issue.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. That was really explicit. I think it just justified why we really need to know. Because we are the function. We are not the courts, but we are the lawmakers. And where there exists a vacuum, we have all the responsibility and we are duty bound to do what is right. An individual who been what accused and proven to have misappropriated funds or what solicited bribes and what received them, nobody in this honorable house would ask for the reinstatement of that person. But all I was asking for, the indefinite suspension or the administrative leave, what was its guidance by law? Is it time bound? How long can it take? And again, after the court ruling, how does KMC justify its actions in correlation to what the High Court have ruled on? Because the laws are supreme. They are above every other guy. If the court say they don't have restraining orders, which means no one else have, but the administrative leave also, where does it stop? And you are right. We are on point. We need closer to the case. We have a mutual responsibility to provide effect. But right now, we want to make sure that the deputy CEO who is here is rightfully representing the office, that we do not allow him to come inside here as a misrepresentation. And as such, KMC's actions are right or wrong. We need justification to that. That's the point we are in.
Thank you, Honorable. Yeah. I think to be clear on the injunction, KMC is no longer restraining the CEO from entering the premises. In fact, she enters the premises every week. On the issue of the administrative leave, as you said, it was procedural. Go on leave until you are proven innocent or guilty. That matter should not take 2 years. As far as we are concerned, it could have taken a day, a week, but definitely not more than a month. So KMC is not happy to function this way. We want the Service Commission to appoint a CEO. Remember, we are not the ones appointing. We cannot dictate who you bring. You can bring a Kankurang, you can bring anything. All we are saying is, as far as that person is proven guilty or that person admits to taking a bribe, that is where we also draw the line. Thank you.
The situation is well captured in the report, and then the response is also well noted. The copy of the report, even whereas the auditor said there is no letterhead, is taken to be the report for that particular investigation. If you can provide a copy of that to the committee, we want to get a copy of it, and then that will be informing us in trying to when you are writing our report, if at your end, I can see your target is to regulate the issue by February, you can still pursue that. The concern of Honorable Fofana is a genuine one. The office should be quite functioning. And then we challenge that you still do all that it takes. Since we are talking of new faces in the Service Commission, if the former one was not listening to, was inactive, we take it that the newly appointed one build a relation so that they take up the challenge and know the situation that you are facing so that the issue can be addressed. Notwithstanding, we'll also take note in our report. It will form part of our report. Thank you. We proceed to the next point. Supplementary, okay.
We are dealing with 2.1.3. That's on the presented fraud allegation. So I just want to confirm from the council. Yes, I just want to confirm from the council if there is any other allegation of fraud or bribery that was not presented to the auditors also during this time.
Apart from this one,
apart from this one, was there any other allegation of corruption or bribery at the council that was not reported to the auditor?
There is none.
There is none. Okay. Thank you, Chair. I just want to draw the attention of the council for a point report dated August 5th, 2021. August 5th, 2021.
Are you reading from the report or the point?
No, from the point. I said from the report. Yeah, I have the soft copy.
Is that what in that's outside the report?
Eh?
That's outside the report.
No, I want to reference. I said why I say I want to reference.
You mean want to make reference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is not captured by the auditor.
Yeah, no, see, the reason why I'm asking, because it seems there's another one.
Which the auditors have not captured.
Exactly, yeah. So which is not reported to the
sorry,
auditor.
yeah.
No, not captured, not reported. Auditor, what they're saying, it's not reported to them.
Or they've not reported to
yes,
the auditor.
because that's what the heading says, unprecedented fraud allegation.
Where is that one?
2.1.3. We are still in the same one.
The same one?
Yes, 76.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you know what the auditors are saying, that there was an unprecedented fraud allegation report. It was not given to them.
Okay.
So I'm asking, was there any other one? I'm asking, was there any other one that was not also presented to them?
Not given to the auditors.
Yes. So they said they are not aware of any other one. So that's why I said I want to make reference.
Okay, let's see.
To a report from the Point newspaper on August 5th, 2021.
I get you. Let's see.
You got me right.
Yeah.
Okay. From this report, I can just read the headline: KMC scandal under investigation as Miss Sonko denied entry. That's Miss Sonko. That's the same lady.
Okay.
Yeah, denied entry. So if you go towards the end of the report, it's saying, meanwhile, it says here, let's see here. Let's see here. So I just go to the video. I don't want, because the story is too long. So here it says it could be recalled that the Freedom newspaper, an online media outlet based in the US, reported last month that Pamusaba, now former KMC deputy mayor, was caught on tape allegedly soliciting bribes from a local Gambian company, which has been contracted to print waste collection fee tickets for the council. Now, the company in question is called Ecotech, which we've dealt with already. The secret recording happened in a meeting between Deputy Mayor Ba had with one Gaston Meltus, a representative of Ecotech company. Now, meanwhile, Ashidu Fao, the spokesman of KMC, who spoke to the Point in an interview yesterday, confirmed that the council is currently conducting an investigation over claims that the former deputy mayor is being involved in an alleged corruption practice. So the investigation committee, she added, are doing their work independently without the interference of anybody. And that's why I asked this question, because it seems there's another one that's also not presented to them. But he's saying that there's none.
Well, the auditor can clarify why they did not get that one. The auditor.
Or maybe I think we have a responsibility.
Yeah.
Let me just make
The
that one
auditor.
very clear, and then I will keep buttressing on this with all due respect. We don't go outside our report.
Okay.
Audit is based on sampling. The reason why this thing was reported, that's why we didn't even go into details. But we are looking at the capacity of the people involved. You're talking about any frauds are material by nature, but audit is all evidence-based. And then the reason why this issue was even reported here, alleged fraud, the CEO, because the audit was there, the CEO wasn't there present, who is the one responsible for the day-to-day administration of the council, the director of finance responsible for the administration of the finance of the council. These two individuals were not present, and then what they have been alleged of is alleged fraud and 12 million, and then the council, they say the council's money, these are just alleged, auditors are just bringing it out for something to be done about it. The councils was used as a guarantee or whatever. And then again, we are saying, let there be a report on this. It is necessary and it is critical. Sure that, because if it is not confirmed, we can't tell whether it is limited to the people who are responsible for the day-to-day administration of the council. If they are alleged of involved in this, who knows if the report is not concluded? Who knows maybe whether this could have an impact on the other operations of the councils? I think this is the only reason why the auditors has in fact flagged, because in fact they are saying this is the staff welfare of the council, which is not public fund. But the reason, the substance of this thing, for our understanding, is the individuals involved, because these are the citizens responsible for the day-to-day administration of the council. So if the report is concluded that this is the whole lot, then the council, then we will know our fate as auditors. Or otherwise, we could have said the risk is it could have an impact on the other operation of the council, because audits, we only look at the potential risk. So the other issues, whether they have been reported to the audit, is all on sample basis, as we are doing. We go through the files, we go through the records. So if something is not on our listing, it will be unfortunate for us to, just conclude that maybe we saw something also on freedom and then this.
Yeah,
It's just for
no, I understand that. It's based on sampling. You can look at every single transaction. In fact, my question is to the council, not to the auditor.
I just want him to know why
Yes.
this was not captured, and he's trying to make the clarification.
Yes. However, Chairman, I think he has just made reference to that, not in substance to, it's in relation to the 12 million. So he ignored about what you've read from an online user, which is not edited and it's not credited. So for now, I think we can ignore that, because the basis of you making reference is about the 12 million. So we'll provide evidence for that.
No. The reference is not online. The reference is in.
You mentioned the online newspaper and the point newspaper.
Yeah, the point newspaper.
Yes. Those people are not the personal auditor.
See?
There is just a allegation.
No, that's why I'm asking, because your spokesperson said that there's an investigation will be carried and the truth will be will be shown to everybody. Or the spokesperson didn't say that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Thank you.
Andrew,
We can get to the person.
Andrew,
Thank you, Chair. Admin Director, I'm a resident of KMC.
Yeah, a taxpayer.
I'm a taxpayer. And I know that there was a change in the cap of the deputy mayor.
You have evidence?
Change in cap.
Okay.
Pamusaba was the deputy mayor,
Okay.
who no longer is.
Okay.
And during those days, what Honorable is saying right now is not hearsay. It was all over. It was all over. So I think it's one thing taking responsibility. And the other thing is the spokesperson did indeed. He said that there will be a report, an investigation. After the investigation, there will be a report. So interest would have been on that report. But to say that it didn't happen, we are under it. From here, we'll do our investigation. And if we find out that indeed what Honorable brought online is true and the questions he asked are valid, we will have the content. Honestly, you have to contempt. So tell us the truth.
Yeah, what I'm telling you, I told you the truth. What he said, he's making a reference to what he had from a newspaper and also on, from the press. He's making a reference. Well, if you make a reference to something, that doesn't mean that you should use that as a substance itself and use it for explanation. So the purpose of his reference is reference to the 12 million fraud. So we should be more concentrated on 12 million because the auditors have not brought that as a case here.
No, you don't get it. What he asked you a question. He asked, is there any other case of fraud or bribery which is not reported to the auditors? This was the question asked by Honorable.
Yes,
And you,
sorry. No.
Sorry. And you said no. In response to that, he made a reference. And the reference is valid. Now, do you take your answer that there was no case of bribery, it was only this one? Do you take that?
To our knowledge. To our knowledge.
To the knowledge of KMC. Lord Mayor. No, but the reality is the finance committee chairperson is not a duty bearer here. We must take the responsibility. We've made those clarifications before.
Sorry. Lord Mayor, what do you say? On what area? On that allegation. Okay.
Sorry, Chair. I wish to submit an objection to it. This is FPAC. If we need evidence,
the right person, somebody that they believe can actually respond.
No, Chairman.
No, Chair.
No.
I think my question was very, very simple.
Yes.
Is there any? The answer is either yes or no. It's very simple. There is nothing like a subject matter specialist in this area.
So there is no definite answer, yes or no.
And of course,
no, I mean, did that advance up to now? Whether there was any or no?
Yeah, I think the answer is not even no. If you look at 2.1.1, deletion of race transaction is a suspected fraud. Even that one, yeah, even that one, yeah.
But Honorable Mbo is referring to a different.
Yeah,
that's somewhere else.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Yeah, Honorable Chair.
I was on the mic. I'm not done. I asked a question. Someone wanted to answer. The Lord Mayor directed to the Finance Committee.
Yes, I say let that person answer the question.
No, I made an objection.
No, yes, I'm also making an objection to that.
But allow the committee. Let me advance my reason. The committee rules.
No. The thing is, the Lord Mayor advanced that the particular, how do you put it, specialist can better answer that question. Yes, I say let that person come in.
Can I observe? I cannot stop it, but can I observe? This is a committee, Chairman.
No, it's a committee, but
yes.
Now by way of presiding.
Now enhance my understanding of the rules.
I'm coming, Honorable.
Yes.
Yes. I think the question is we all have the question.
Yes.
And he put the particular person who is a specialist in the area can better answer the question.
Okay, Chairman.
Let the person come and answer the question.
Okay, Chairman, I want you to enhance my understanding. He can answer, but enhance my understanding first. When we call government ministries, departments, and agencies to perform oversight functions on them, who are we talking about? Is it not the duty bearers? Is it not the duty bearers, or they can bring anybody?
Can you mind that when they come, the team come?
Yes.
At any point in time. That's why they are all here as a team. Anyone can handle a particular question that will feel that person is better to answer that question.
Chairman,
no, it's not so that one person.
Let's inquire and know the functions of that individual first.
Well, that's why they all took an oath. We said at any point they can.
Chairman, the individual pointed at is a councillor. It's a councillor. He is a councillor.
That's what I'm trying to. When they are here, we said anyone, a councillor, what responsibility is he having?
Chairman,
there are different
the responsibility of the council lies on the mayor, the chief executive officer, and the director of finance.
that team, they are giving different positions. So
Okay, we can address this in-house, but
that's okay.
the precedents
But it's
that
not-
you've said
it's not
today,
our precedent.
no,
We have been-
it's not a good
We have
precedent.
been entertaining different people to be coming. They've been coming as a team.
No.
So that wherever one is is a specialist in the area.
I've never seen one. I'll be honest. All I've seen here is managing director, finance director, procurement manager. That's the fact. That is the fact. No junior staff have ever come here.
Let's take that. If you think it's a precedent, I don't think it's
No, it is a precedent.
I'm
I'm not a good one.
I'm not observing as a precedent.
It is.
But I'm not observing as a precedent. Are you done? Okay. Take it.
Chair, I just want to remind ourselves that we work in according to the management letter. We are raising questions in the management letter with regards to the auditor's report. So this particular alleged fraud that we are talking about, if the mayor is saying someone responsible, there is someone responsible who will be answerable to that question, I think it's better we give them the chance to do that. Because in cases, there are cases that when we are not satisfied with some answers, we ask them to provide them with tangible answers, either in writing or whatsoever. So as we work with the management letter, I think it's better we go through the management letter, as Honorable Bo asked. We might come across another fraud allegations or whatsoever. So I think it's better we forge. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Yame?
Basically, I just decided to stay, not to talk, because this report that they are presenting I was part of it. So, but basically, what I want here.
If you do so next time, you are also going there.
Yes, you know, whatever we are doing, you know, we just have to understand the reason why we are here for a purpose, and we should work together and, you know, continue that momentum. And basically, sometimes we may have our, you know, differences and whatever. But for that being the case, I just want to appeal. Let's just, you know, go according to the procedure, because sometimes it's always important we do the right thing. So I just want to appeal to the honorable member, if they can allow the honorable councillor to just brief us about the question that you put across, so that we can have an idea. Then from there we can, you know, ask supplementary question, please. Thank you.
Okay. In as much as we were members of the council during the period, we are dealing with a document that was not part of our functions as elected members of councils. There are two organs at the council. That's the administration and the general council. We were members of the general council for that matter. Okay? So the issues that we are dealing with has to do with administration. So that should be also clear. Thank you very much. And we can also hear from the councillor as well.
It's over to you.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to, in my little understanding, explain.
You're taking the question by yourself now?
No, I will refer it very soon. But I quite don't appreciate my councillor being downgraded as a junior staff. Councillors are elected officials, and as a body, they are more powerful than the mayor. The mayor is one member of the council. I don't even have voting rights.
Can you put the mic off?
I don't even have voting rights on the council. And if I believe the Finance and Audit Act states, the council as a body is answerable to its people and the parliament for the financing of the council, for the finances, and not the mayor. So the accounting officers of the council are the CEO and the director of finance. But I believe as much as a mayor can answer, a councillor is also as fit to answer. So I therefore refer it to my councillor, who is the chairman of both the finance committee and the revenue committee.
Councillor
Chairman? Sorry?
Pexon,
Yes.
Pexon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord Mayor, I'm sorry, but I'll never downgrade a councillor
But
or mayor
not
councillor.
Pexon.
No, allow me, Chairman. Something was said directed to my
So that's what I'm
personality.
saying, whether a question or comment,
I'll bring in both. Let me just lay the foundation.
but you are
I'm laying my foundation. I'll come.
laying foundation, then ask.
Yeah, for the question, yes. I'm just laying the foundation. If that's your interpretation, I'm sorry. I'm a man who doesn't go high. The chairman knows exactly what I am saying. When I said he is a councillor, I'm looking at the precedents we've set at this committee. We allow mayors, directors of finance, chief executive officers, and procurement managers to respond. When we come to departments, it's the managing director, director of finance, and what? Procurement managers. We've never asked for senior accountants or cashiers. So now, the point I was making is, you as the mayor, your schools cannot be fit in by the councillor, but not to downgrade the councillor. So I'm sorry if that was your understanding, but the chairman knows better. So chairman, to really put it there, no need for the correction. Thank you.
Then your aim it was not to ask a question, but to make comment. You should have told me that I want to make comment. I can see he is doing Majanko style.
Chairman, Honorable Fofana is building foundation. I am going to build first floor. So like he rightly said, is the managing directors and the staffs. But the mayors then should not answer, because it's like asking the chairman of the board to also come here and answer. Yeah, so we have a council. So our political structure is different. I, as the mayor, I am like a referee, but the real power is with the councillors. I think that's the misconception many Gambians have. The executive power is with the council as a body and not the mayor as an individual. So like I said, the council is decentralized as far as functions are concerned, and we work as a team. So he is more than capable and fit, I think, to respond on behalf of the council.
Noted.
So Honorable, please don't build first
Please.
floor.
No, I think honorable comment, please, let's conclude that.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson and a member of your committees. Actually, I think we should all try to be okay with the Local Government Act and then the Finance and Audit Act, just like what the auditor mentioned. During their audit process at KMC, his team members were engaging me in most of the things that they don't have some evidence. So for this past days, I have been coming here with the Lord Mayor. I think if I feel like this is the way I will be treated, I will have, in fact, not come. I have a lot of yes. Now, but now the most important thing here, these are just allegations against the former deputy mayor. a team was been set, a panel was been set, and then the honorable member for Serakunda is in fact part of it. That is Honorable Musacham was part of it. And then we engaged both the parties from the Ecotech end, and then the former deputy mayor too was invited. And then any person whom you know that has been mentioned in this allegation, we are all invited. So then the chairperson of the committee, that is one of our HR expert, that is Moduge, is a member of the public, but is an expert in HR. He's the one with the reports. So the first draft was out. So I hope he was not around for a while, but we hope we will get the final draft and then it will be shared to the public. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And in fact, this is exactly what I wanted to know. But it seems this guy actually was not telling the truth to us. Because the simple question I asked, he could have just said what he said. Simple as that. But if he stands here in the public and say he's on the oath and say that no, it doesn't happen, nothing. Again, that is really a contempt of the parliament. But if he had said what this gentleman actually has said, straightforward, you know. So again, maybe as chair, maybe you need to address that, because what he has done is a contempt of the parliament, and that's yeah.
Your colleague is saying it had happened. What is your take on it before I come? But now it is now to or not. Yeah, we try to make sure you are on the oath.
Thank you very much, Chair. And for the purpose of clarity, okay, when there was this write-up in the newspaper, I was a councillor before. Then at the General Council, I was the one who proposed that there was a need to establish an ethics committee to look into those allegations. But then we established a committee. When we started our sittings, it was then that the Minister of Local Government instituted a commission. So we found that we realized that it will be conflicting. So we were depending more on that commission, the inspection team that came to the council. That's why we couldn't continue our investigation as a committee. Thank you. Was mentioned. Yeah, it was also mentioned as their TOR.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. I actually want to attest to what the Honorable was saying. When the allegation was brought in the council, He is right. He's the one who pushed for a resolution to set up an investigation team. And actually, in the minister's investigation, it was part of the terms of reference of matters being investigated. So if you look into the report, I am sure it must be mentioned there. The investigators report from the ministry. Yes, it was part of their terms of reference. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Lord Mayor. Since you are privy to the report, is it included in the final report that was given to you? I mean, from the ministry.
If I can remember, I don't want to speak in the affirmative because I'm on the oath. But if I can remember, it was part of their terms of reference. But reading through the report, I don't remember seeing a mention or any adverse finding, if I can remember. But I think the report is now with the committee, so maybe they're in a better position to look into it.
Thank you.
Payment of gross salary to suspended staff. We noted that suspended staff, that the CEO, the Director of Finance, Deputy Director of Compliance, and Assistant Rates Manager were on suspension, were receiving gross or full salaries instead of basic as per memo dated 26 July 2021. The recommendation advanced by the auditor, the management of the council should ensure that the officers in Quickson are only paid their basic salaries as stipulated by the memo in line with the regulations. What is the management's response to that?
Chair, the primary response is that we observe the payment of the full salary. Because maybe there was miscommunication that they will pay full salary, but action has been taken now. They will pay basic salary with effect.
The auditor further noted that the response did not specify the action taken and no evidence provided with the response to verify the claim. Can you further comment on that?
You are right. Action to be taken was omitted on the response, but the action was to revise their salary to basic.
And did you do that?
Yes, that is correct.
Because we could not receive the audit report finally, the final draft. So as soon as it was received, it was forwarded to this.
We are not getting you.
What I'm saying,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, this audit report, as soon as it was received, it was forwarded to this body. So it was, I think, few days, 1 day or 2. So it will be restored this month.
We restore this one.
Yes.
I don't know whether.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know whether I can not auditor's recommendation or whatever is not automatic. What I'm trying to say is for you to guide yourself, like what are the right things to do, not just to say, okay, what the auditor said this. Auditors only look at the potential risks and then the regulation as per the regulation. What exactly the regulation said about people on a such thing, you just act based on that. Yeah. By making reference to the regulations, you know, what are the central and the local council.
I've noted that point. Any issue on that, honorable members? Can we move on to the next point, the ballot project allowance paid to council staff, 79. The council paid unpaid approved transport allowance of $500 and risk allowance of $1,000 to manager and supervisor of the environment and sanitation unit of the council for the ballot project. We engage the senior officer of the account unit and request for council resolution that was passed for it, but was not presented to us for our review. The auditor recommended that the authority or approval of these allowances should be provided or payment stopped without delay. What's your response?
The said staff were assigned by the Waste Management Committee as part of experience on the waste management when the ballot project was installed, and they were authorized to have an extra responsibility allowance because of the extra responsibility assigned to them. And the committee recommend for the said staff to be given some allowances as compensation, hence extra responsibilities added to their current responsibility. However, the said allowance have been stopped and the staff were withdrawn from the project at the end of the project period, which was 2020, around April.
The auditor further comment that no evidence was provided with response to verify the claim that has stopped.
Well, they could be right because we just informed them through the response, but we were not giving them the payroll to see that they are out of the payroll completely. But it's available.
It's available?
Yes.
It has stopped?
It stopped.
Which month?
Chair, the only evidence we can present, which is available, is the minutes of the payroll review, the last payroll review we did, or this issue came up, that the auditors advised, made this as a point, and during the payroll review, this staff affected issues came up. Then we took an immediate decision that their salary should be stopped. All right. So that the minutes of the payroll review is an evidence. So since then as he said, the payroll their payment, allowance payment has been stopped. The payroll is there to show. I think I cannot remember the day the last review was done.
Supplement, quick, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the question is not why was it stopped, but why did it happen? Because what the auditors are observing is that a total of 1,500 was paid to what? These individuals without the relevant authorization. So the question is, on what authority was this payment effected?
As what the CEO has just rightly said,
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. Do you have minutes of those council resolutions? why was it not presented to the auditors? Because if you look at second paragraph under the findings, they said, we engaged senior officers of the accounts unit and request for council resolution that was passed for it, but was not presented to us for review. Why was it not presented? Honorable Chair, can you have the auditors help us on that? Why they did not receive the resolution? And have they contacted them? What was the response?
Yes, I think the finding is clear. And then, in fact, if you look at the, maybe just to make this clarification, because as auditors, we don't challenge the procedures, and then we don't want to come up with something that might affect the operation of the council. Where if you said they are critical, and then we don't want in a scenario where I said the auditor said we should stop paying this salary, and then the staff, what they are doing, they are not doing that one, and in return, there is gap. We, auditors, we are very careful of that. What we're saying, I think the issue here is on approved transport. And then if you look at our recommendation, we said the authority or approval of this allowance should be provided or payment be stopped without delay. So these are the two options. So up to the time of finalizing this thing, there was no this thing. It wasn't provided for us. So it's just for the council to go and regularize it. If it wasn't budgeted, let them budget for it. If they think that this with their service is relevant. Well, what matters is for them to, enhance the operation of the council. So I think that if, I don't know, Honorable, if that answers your question, it wasn't provided up to the time of providing it. But what I just want to make clear, we are not saying you stop it. If you know how relevant paying that allowance for them is to you, it's either to regularize it or make sure that it is approved, or otherwise you stop it before you regularize the payment status. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. And that was the point. What the point is, the points noted here is not for the payment to be stopped. The points noted is payments were made without the right approval. Resolutions were asked for, they were not there. So now you are saying the resolutions were there. The findings are saying accounts was what consulted. I would go to the finance director, because this is the fourth time, like, we are saying non-submission of evidence, and we will always claim that they are there. But consistently, as we are going, we will realize that from your department, the evidence was not going. So now, can you tell us exactly where these resolutions there?
Thank you, Honorable. We were follow up on this audit. When we responded, we could not carry the entire office to the National Audit Office. Their IT came to follow up on our response, and some of the observations were corrected. But the other evidence, that's why we carry this box. We carry some of the evidence that they should have come and make a follow-up. But we carry some to the office. They verify, and some are still with them. Some files are with them, still with them. And it's a 2 years audit period, so many documentations. But I cannot remember ever since this resolution was not asked at the time of the audit. They could have it on the final report, but I have not seen this request. But it was responded. It was authorized. We are not crazy to pay payment or allowances to people, which is not authorized by the General Council.
You can request for the resolution.
Yes, thank you. Actually, my worry is here.
I don't know, maybe if I can just,
yes, come.
yeah, if you look at the response, I'm just doing this in just to save time. If you look at the response, the staff were assigned some extra responsibility to the embodied project, of which West Rock Committee recommended for the staff said giving some allowance as compensation, hence extra responsibility. However, the said allowance have been stopped and the staff were withdrawn from the project. What I'm trying to say, if I told the auditors are saying no evidence of approval, that's the substance. If it is approved, auditors doesn't have any, and then why are you stopping it and when it has been approved? I don't know where I get my point.
Yeah. Okay. no, that's fine. I think we are very clear. See, I think the justification for the allowance, I think they are justified, because we are giving them extra responsibility to do A, B, and C and D. But what the auditor was interested in the on a normal circumstances in the budget and all these expenses, somebody must have approved. But if you come with a new allowance, he expect a council resolution to approve that. That's what he was saying. But at the time of finalization, there was nothing before them to say that yes, there was a resolution to approve. That's exactly what he's saying. But in essence, if you have stopped it because of it's no longer, yeah, we're fine, we're good to go. You know, so for them, it was just a matter of getting evidence, but not to say to stop. Yeah, if you continue, fine, but to do that, there must be evidence that the council actually has given the resolution. Yeah.
Chair.
Yes.
You know, this came at a time when the projects have ended.
Okay.
So we've realized that there is no essence for them to continue. So the whole project is now embedded in the mainstream. Okay. So they're still serving, but then it's part of their core money.
All right. Thank you. So we can continue on the page 81, 2.2.1, no financial reporting framework and accounting policies. Finding the council did not disclose the financial reporting framework adopted to prepare and present its financial statements. There were no accounting policies stating the treatment and recognition of items in the financial statements. And the implications indicated and the recommendation is that management should ensure that the financial reporting framework and accounting policies adopted by the council for the preparation and presentation of the financial statement should be disclosed to the financial statements. So the response from the council is that the council adopted the cash basis in preparation of the financial statement in line with the central government policy choice of accounting basis as stated by the financial manual of local government authorities, chapter 9, subsection 901I. So action taken, nothing. So auditors' comments, management response incomplete, but the financial reporting framework and accounting policies were disclosed on the financial statement. So I think we are good to go, except if you have any questions. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. My question will be first directed to the auditors. When you said no financial reporting framework and accounting policies, let's contextualize it to KMC. What exactly did you mean with regards to the policies?
You know, as a director, if you are preparing any financial statement, you have to use the accounting policy in cash basis, and then the way you recognize your assets and your revenue, and then based on that, then auditors will evaluate, and then they will review your figures based on that. Because if you don't mention, if you are silent about whether it's accrual or whether it's cash basis also, then the auditors now you are putting them in a, because they cannot evaluate, you know, the treatment and then the policy you are, whether it is in line or not. So that's why when they submit the draft and they haven't mentioned that one, we will bring it, we'll flag it for them to mention it, either cash basis or accrual basis, and then, you know, so that will help us to form an opinion. But it was later provided, disclosed, and then that's why we just like it, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. This is where we started. You said you had the evidence. So the auditors are flagging it again. So before asking any question, what I would say is, why didn't you provide those evidence? For example, with the license. If you look at the comparatives in the 2020, it is 59,434. In the audited financial statement of 2019, it is 59. That's a difference of 250,000. Why was that evidence not provided to the auditors?
You are talking about 2019 compared to 2020, which I clearly stated that it was not part of the follow-up and was not part of the audit exercise, was part of the audit process. But on the draft, we just see them request for the submission of the financial statement on the draft. Then we prepare the financial statement for 2019, which was adjusted after the original financial statement was provided previous year. But we are comparing 2020 and 2019. 2020 and 2019, the difference could be either improvement in revenue collection or whatsoever.
No, sorry. The two figures you are seeing, they are all belong to 2019, and they were all reported by you at different stages. Let's start with the 2020 comparative balances. What they mean by that is the figures you bring as 2019 in the 2020 financial statements. Are you together?
Yeah.
Huh? What you bring in for 2019 in the 2020 financial statements for the license is 59,434. And what was in the audited financial statements for 2019 was 59,775,
Yes.
making a difference of 240,000. So why do you have the same values, the different values for the same year, without the evidence for the restatement?
You ask for those evidence. We say this evidence were already available. We tried to forward it to them at the end of the auditing period of 2019, which they said is late. We receive it, but it's late. They cannot incorporate it. That must be the difference. The adjustments are there. It's in the emails. People have sent it. I have sent it, and they didn't incorporate it and finalize. But while we have already adjusted the accounts.
When did you forward it to them? After the 2019 account?
Yeah, after the 2019 account.
No. What is happening, what they are reporting now is the auditing of the 2020 and 2021. That's when you, no, let me land. Comparative figures right now is not in relation to the 2019 financial statements. Yes. The 2019 accounts were audited.
Yes.
The audited financial statements, their figures are here. The comparative figures is what you brought in as the 2019 audited figures in the 2020 financial statement here.
Yes.
And they differ with the audited financial statements. This you did at your level.
Yes.
Now, what the auditors are asking you is, what was the basis for your restatement? And you didn't provide that to them. This was not there in 2019. This came in 2020, 2021.
No, they were there in 2019.
Hold on.
They were there in 2019.
Hold on. Chairman, no, allow me. Let me go to the auditors. Allow me. I'm not done.
Okay.
Chair, let's have the auditor clarify that.
Yeah.
When was this restatement done? And then can I have it? No, he got it. When was the restatement done? Was
it? Thank you, Honorable. I think because we might find similar issue, but maybe let me just make this point clear. When we send our engagement letter, we will list down the documents, and then again, not limited to, but any other document. But when you come to the financial, I think I'm just repeating this thing. Is the management of KMC to present a true and fair financial statement, a credible financial statement for auditors to review and express an opinion. The 2019, I think that's why it's very clear. The 2019 was an adverse. And the National Assembly, the recommendation was go and work on these 2019 figures and submitted it. And then I said, when we are doing our 2020 review, we will review those adjustments and then, and then report accordingly. So if we are saying that these figures were submitted, these figures were reinstated, but the auditor said it was late. I think that was your response.
I think you didn't get me right.
You said they were there since 2019.
This year, you review only on our draft. The only review and claim and queries we have was related to 2020. 2019, nothing came on the draft as queried or complaints or anything requesting us to get.
Yeah, but if you
hold on, because we work with the draft. we work and then we address the audit query based on the draft you submitted. If the 2019 was mentioned in our last sitting here last week, that's why it go back and come to the final report.
Yeah,
it was not part of.
wait. Sorry.
Yes.
No, I know. When you are submitting your 2020,
Yes.
what were the comparative figures for the 2020 accounts?
2020 account.
Yes. As
2019.
we all know as accountant,
Yeah.
if you are preparing any, you always bring the prior year figures as the baseline.
Yeah.
We all know as accountant. When you are preparing your 2020 financial statement,
Yes.
where was the 2019
It's there.
as comparison figures?
Yes.
And then it wasn't there for nothing. It was there because the auditors were using that one now as they are auditing the 2020. The 2019 figures were there. That's we need our confirmation. So any adjustment or whatever need to be, with provided with evidence. Evidence has to be there. The audit report, the findings said, we noted that the council did not state its 2019 finances since the audit opinion was an advert. The previous committee of this, however, we were informed that the 2019 finances they could not be restated because the accounting software was locked for the period. So where did the auditors get this feedback from? Because they were not able to, because the accounting software was locked. Where did they get this information from?
Which information?
Is this however, we were informed that the 2019 financial statement could not be restated because the accounting software was locked for that period.
No, when you say lock, that means you cannot do adjustments. You can extract the trial balance, run your financial statement, and prepare your accounts. But you cannot post, you cannot delete, you cannot do any adjustment. The figures remain as they are. That's why you could not change. But prior to running the system for that period, we do some adjustment. We were rushing 2019 at the time of the financial statement. We submitted the original one. Then you came and found some complaints which we are trying to address. You finalize your auditing, and after that you have adjusted. Then you finalize.
Maybe just to get it on. Okay.
Chairman, just last one. Now let me direct you to page 14. We will make this very easy now. Go to page 14.
Page.
The response.
Yeah, it's omitted.
Yes, I'll go to that.
It was omitted.
Are we at page 14?
Yeah.
You are there. Let's start with licensing.
Which page are you making reference?
I'm at page 14 of the financial
14?
statement. Yes, page 14, 1-4. Are you there?
Yes.
When they talk about comparative figures,
Yes.
in page 14, if you look at licensing, under 2019, what you have there is 59,434,816. And if you go to page 83, where we are right now, are you seeing it? Are you at page 83?
Yes.
That is the figure you have there.
Yes.
This figure, what the auditors are claiming, differs from what is in your financial statements, audited financials. Allow me to learn. Just allow me.
Please.
Okay? Can you allow me?
Allow him.
Okay?
Yes.
Allow me. What we are saying here is not a joke.
No.
These are financial figures. If a restatement is done, there's no evidence. Tell us what you are doing to correct it. Okay? And in your audited financial statements of 2019, what you had there was 59,775,216. Now, do you get it? Now, do you know that we are not talking about 2020?
No.
All the figures we are talking about, they belong to 2019. We are the same wavelength now.
Correct.
Now, the question is, this 340,400, why was the evidence not provided to the auditors?
That's what I'm saying. The auditors were not querying any changes on this 2019. Maybe 2019, it just comes.
Sorry, let me help you. The auditors do not need to ask for it. The former PACPEC where you went, the National Assembly
Yes.
asked you to do the corrections.
Yes.
With who? The National Audit Office.
Yes.
Now, if you do your statements and submit it to the National Audit Office,
Yes.
should they ask you for the evidence? As an accountant, should they ask you? No, I'm asking you, should they ask you?
But they can review and then post me queries, which they did on the 2021.
Look,
And they have to review the one given to them.
Mr.
And send us the feedback.
Njai, you are an accountant.
I understand.
The burden lies on you. You are the one being audited.
Agreed.
All your comparative figures, all your figures for 2019 are restated.
Yes.
They shifted from one value
Yeah.
to the other.
Yes.
You submitted that to the auditors.
Yes.
And you want the auditors to ask you again why.
The original, all the adjustments made were forwarded to them. It's in their email right now.
Maybe just for the sake of it, I think when you go by the management, it's very clear. They said, however, we are informed that the 2019 financial could not be reinstated because the accounting software was locked for the period. This was the feedback we got from them. And then again, the management response, for them to respond is not provided. They haven't responded to this. And this was at the draft stage. They've responded to other queries, but this one was not responded. It was left blank. And we said auditors for the management did not respond to the audit query. However, we noted that the 2019 financial statement comparative figures were different with the audited 2019 financial statement. The council did not provide evidence to confirm these figures. So the fact that whatever you are saying, I think because audit is evidence-based. So the fact that you left it blank and then we even come up with an audit for that. So any other question now, I think for the sake of time, we can.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Njai, you've got their position.
Very well.
What he is trying to put to you.
Very well. I got it right.
Yeah, they were not provided. They were not provided.
The adjustments were provided. Diba is here.
How were they provided?
Sorry. Yeah, can I get this?
Not in this audit, but in the previous audit.
Sorry,
But
Chairman.
we didn't look at it.
Chairman, can I just learn? Mr. Njai, this is one of the reasons why the auditors cannot express an opinion on your financial statements. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why during our recommendation as well, we will come up with stringent measures to avoid what happened right now. So if you sit in front of us as an accountant, you know the implications, their perspective. It's not trying to be defensive here. This is not a court of law. The overall objective is to improve on the operational efficiency. If you don't take responsibility, you can't change it. The auditors have nothing against you. They were there, everything they presented, you are the one who gave it to them. Are you together? At the end of the day, for us, we'll do our job based on the evidence provided in front of us. But I will tell you, as an accountant, you know better. You could have done better. Because you restated the values without evidence. You know that what that means in accounting? It's pragmatic accounting, creative accounting. It's called creative accounting. You just take figures from anywhere without justification. And if you try to tell us they were there without providing it, that is what sinks in our brain. And I'll tell you, that's what I think right now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think Sanya actually has understood what we are trying to say here. You know, the previous committee made some recommendations for you to change certain things because it was an adverse opinion, which was not very good. And they made some recommendations based on the findings of the auditors. So the expectation was, if you go to make those changes, then you're going to have a document that would state one by one, why has the loan balances changed? Why has the deposit has changed? Why has this and that has changed? That documentation, that's what really is given to the auditors. For example, just when you look at the loans, it has changed from almost like 4.7 million to 1,177,000. Just an example. Why that? What has happened? Now, if what has happened was due to a query that they made in 2019 accounts, so you went to resolve it, then you indicate and give evidence. You understand? So for them, what they wanted to see is like the evidence that you've put forward to make these changes happen. Because otherwise, there's no way they can confirm those things. You've changed them. The system couldn't do it because it was locked, as per your explanation. But when you go to change it in the 2020 account comparatively, then you should have provided evidence that, well, we've changed A, B, or C because of A, B, C, and D. That's all they wanted to get at. Yeah.
I think you've got a point. Honorable members, any other thing on that? It is past 6 o'clock. I think, and we still have still more to go. Yeah, it appears there is no way we can finish this today. It will require rescheduling for continuation and completion. That is my observation. Honorable members, how do you see it? What we have here is still a lot. The pace that we are going, even whereas we want to continue, 12 o'clock will not finish. Tomorrow is loaded because we have these considerations. That's what I'm saying. We have two considerations in the morning, and the Janjambura is coming in the afternoon. So when I look at the program, Thursday the same. Yeah, Thursday is COVID-19. This week is not possible, and then next week we'll not have engagement until on the 27th. So we can do it in the course of next week. When I look at the date calendar, Tuesday 21st. How do you see that? 21st. We have no engagement in the course of that week. At our end, I don't know if National Assembly, but at our end, no engagement. Tuesday 21st, is that okay? Okay. Can somebody move that? KMC, we want to stop here for now because we cannot complete. And it is scheduled to Tuesday 21st. Is that okay? Auditor? It's okay. And GPA? We've even not reached to GPA. Okay. Now, can any honorable member move that we adjourn the sitting until tomorrow 10 a.m.? Not for KMC, only for the committee. 10 a.m. Seconded. It has been moved and seconded that the sitting be adjourned until tomorrow 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. And those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The meeting stand adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you. Tuesday, 10 o'clock. In the morning, 10 o'clock. I will leave everything. I'm not going with